Hey guys, this is Jam of jamonline.ph, and today I got something really special for myself, and it's the OPPO Find X. So the OPPO Find X is the latest smartphone from OPPO, and it is their current flagship smartphone. So what's so special about this current flagship smartphone from OPPO compared to the others? Well, we do have a 93.8 screen to body ratio on this smartphone. That's why the smartphone, my god, this is the sexiest smartphone of 2018. I'm telling you that right now. There's a curved glass on the front and the back, and there's an almost bezel-less display. Here's the best part about this smartphone: the Find X doesn't come with a notch. So where did OPPO place its camera? Well, the rear and front camera of the smartphone can only be seen whenever you open the camera app or you use the camera itself for face unlock, because there's a sliding mechanism that hides the rear and front camera of the smartphone, and it's called the 3D stealth camera. Not just that, we're not yet finished. The OPPO Find X is also powerful, as this smartphone packs the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 processor and 8 gigs of RAM. Yes, such power. And then of course we got here a 256 gigs of internal storage, which is probably more than enough for you guys. So yeah, what are we waiting for? So let's unbox and let's take a closer look on the OPPO Find X. So this is the box of the OPPO Find X. So as you can see, it's way different compared to other OPPO smartphones. So what are we waiting for? So let's unbox this smartphone. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got here the latest flagship smartphone from OPPO, the OPPO Find X. Yes, I'm gonna place this one on the side. So let's open the box. So we got here the pin for the SIM card tray. We're gonna use that later. And of course we got here the microfiber cloth, so you can wipe off the smudges or whatever dust on your OPPO Find X. Got here also a sticker, I believe. Yeah, so there's a sticker that is included on the OPPO Find X. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna place it here. So we got here the quick information guide. Nothing really special about it. Okay, so yeah, drop something. Oh yeah, it's the dongle. So we do not have a 3.5mm audio jack or headphone jack on the OPPO Find X. That's why we had this, the dongle. Yes, it's kind of weird, but yes, we do have an included plastic case for the OPPO Find X. We're gonna place this one on our OPPO Find X later, and as you can see here, we got here some space for the camera. So yeah, it doesn't cover 100% of the OPPO Find X. Of course, this isn't a flagship OPPO smartphone without the VOOC flash charge. So we got here the charger for the VOOC flash charge. You need this one to use and optimize the VOOC flash charge on the OPPO Find X. So yes, that's 5 volts 2 amperes or 5 volts 4 amperes for the VOOC flash charge. Of course, we got here the earphones. Again, nothing so special about it, but inside is where you can find the USB cable, which is, by the way, a USB Type-C. You actually need that one to maximize and optimize the VOOC flash charge, because without this cable, there's no VOOC flash charge on the OPPO Find X. So I guess that's it for the box of the OPPO Find X. So let's take a closer look on the smartphone itself. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the sexiest smartphone of 2018, the OPPO Find X. So before we turn on the display and before we set up the OPPO Find X, I want to talk about the design of the smartphone and how good the design of the smartphone is. At the back, we got here the curved glass, really ergonomic to the hand despite its 6.4-inch display. And in the front, we got here the panoramic art display. It's an AMOLED display. It's a full HD plus AMOLED display, but there's no notch. We're gonna talk about that later. But as you can see here, the device is still turned off, but you can already see how good the design of the OPPO Find X is. Again, this is the glacier blue, and as you can see, we got here the gradient color from blue to black here. Then the camera of the smartphone is actually hiding at this part, and then below we got here the SIM card tray, the USB Type-C, the speaker grill, and on the side we got here the volume rocker and the power button. Unfortunately, there's no headphone jack on this one, and there's no fingerprint scanner, but don't worry, we've tried it. The face unlock was really fast on the OPPO Find X. But before we continue, let's check out the SIM card tray of this smartphone and how the case of the smartphone will fit on the Find X. And it's actually just a single nano SIM card, so there's no micro SD card slot on this one. But don't worry, the 256 gigs of storage, I believe you wouldn't need a micro SD card slot for that one. Anyway, there's no micro SD card slot, it's 256 gigs. There's a single SIM card tray. So what's next? Well, let's check out how the camera the case of the smartphone will fit on the OPPO Find X. Again, this is a plastic case, and as you can see here, it's well, it doesn't feel the same to the glass, but it adds protection to your Find X, and you wouldn't worry about breaking the glass on the smartphone. So as you can see here, there's a space below for the USB Type-C in the SIM card tray. However, there's no spaces on this one or holes on this one, but I'm good with that. It's protecting the glass of the Find X. But at the top, as you can see, there's no case for this one because the camera is actually sliding up here. So we're gonna show that to you later. And yes, I think that's the time. I mean, let's set up the smartphone, and it's time to check out the OPPO Find X. Okay guys, so na-set up na natin si OPPO Find X. Actually, we have used the OPPO Find X for a while, so I'm gonna show you some of the camera samples that we took using the Find X. And here we go. Oh, wait, ulitin natin. Wow. Did you see that? Did you see that? And yes, that's face unlock, folks. And despite I'm in a dark room right now, there's only my lights for the table, I was still able to unlock the smartphone because, well, I'm gonna open the camera again. There are sensors here similar to the Find X. There are sensors here, yeah. There are sensors here that are similar to the iPhone X, so it lets you, you know, detect. Well, it lets the smartphone detect your face accurately, and it's also used for the emoji or the OPPO Animoji or something like that. Emoji, I'm not sure. We're gonna check that out later. I'm gonna show that to you. But before we proceed, I want to talk about, well, the design of the smartphone. Again, the OPPO Find X is the sexiest smartphone of 2018. As you can see here, we got here the curved glass. It's a panoramic arc screen. It's what OPPO is calling the smartphone's display. As you can see here, there's no bezels at the top. It's almost practically invisible. Well, we do have some very small one, but yeah, it's almost 93.8%. That's almost 100%. We got a small chin below, and also, of course, we got here the on-screen buttons. Okay, nothing to worry about that, or, you know, nothing to complain about that. The smartphone is really sexy. It's not just the front. Again, the back is really good. And again, I'm going to turn on the face unlock. So as you can see here, the camera is sliding up, and as you can see here, the LED flash, the dual lens camera in the front. We got here the camera. You don't have to worry about that because according to OPPO, it's 300,000 times. It's durable. It can last up to more than 300,000 times. Actually, I'm not really worried about it because it does feel solid, and you can actually hear the sliding sound of the smartphone. Anyway, the display of the smartphone again is really superior. It's an AMOLED display. However, it's still at Full HD+, but I wouldn't complain. It's still good. It's really vivid, and it's really good outside. I'm actually impressed with its display. I actually like this one. However, again, there are curves, so it might, distract you or annoy you when it comes to some games, including PUBG. Anyway, one of the best features of the OPPO Find X is its camera. Again, it's called the 3D stealth camera, and it only appears whenever you open the camera app or whenever the smartphone requires using the camera. So anyway, this is the interface of the camera. It's very similar to other OPPO smartphones. We got here though a slow-mo, which is 1080p, 720, it's up to you. That time lapse here, video, the video can actually record up to 4K. Photo, portrait, and actually this one is really good because you can use portrait whether the front camera or the rear camera of the smartphone. So unlike the OPPO F9, which is we can only use the portrait mode using the rear camera of the smartphone, well, with the Find X, you can actually use both the front and the rear camera of the smartphone. Here's the interesting part. We got here the sticker, and this one is like the Animoji or Emoji or Oppo Emoji or Omoji. Again, I forgot what this one is called, but as you can see here, it's actually pretty good. Well, it's not as accurate as the one on the on the Apple iPhone 10, but this one is actually just fine. It's not super accurate, but it's fine. Nothing to worry about it. Okay, so it's actually getting closer to me whenever I look closer to the camera. It's really cool. And of course, not just that, it also comes with different stickers. Yeah, so similar to that one. Ah. Okay, so this one can detect my face. It's actually, there we go. So so we have different emojis or objects or whatever face that you want to call it on this one. However, as you can see here, it's not as good as the iPhone 10, but I think it fares better than the Samsung one, but nothing to complain about it. I mean, I'm not expecting that it would be accurate, since this one is the first generation of OPPO smartphones with this feature. Of course, we got here some stickers that you probably want, and this one comes with a background. You can actually see that I can detect my face. Not a fan of that, but again, portrait mode, it comes with different lighting. We got natural light, face light, bicolor light. There we go. I'm gonna show that to you later. Okay, so this one has canvas light. So it's a little bit washed out right now because of the lights, but don't worry about it. There's too much exposure during the local light. Okay, so let's check out some of the shots. Well, this one is local light. Well, again, this one isn't the photos that I'm gonna show you. This one is really cool. There's a canvas at the back. This was the bicolor light. It's actually not accurate. I think OPPO still needs some improvement on the what do you call this? The bicolor light. So they still need some improvement on that one. If you want to maximize that, you have to be in a decent condition or a decent shooting environment. Anyway, I'm gonna show you some of the shots that I took with the smartphone. And again, oops, that's my Google AdSense. So again, that's a 20 plus 16 megapixel rear camera. Anyway, here are some of the shots that I took. This one is earlier today. This one is one big bulalo from Lucky Me. Anyway, the recent update has upgraded the camera of the smartphones way better now. It's almost flagship level. However, the Find X doesn't have the same camera quality just like the other flagship smartphones, but for me, I can still consider it as still good for a flagship smartphone. As you can see here, the colors are pretty great on this one, but yeah, there we go. It's actually pretty good. It's sharp, but again, it's not that accurate when it comes here, but this one is good. Okay, this one is really good. This one is good too. You can actually shoot really fast, and again, look at that display. I'm sorry, I just want to emphasize the display of the smartphone because it's really damn good. This one is a low light, I believe. Not so low light, but as you can see here, it's not as sharp as expected. It's kind of soft on this one, on the fishes. This one is on the champurrado, not as perfect as it should be, but this one is here's with AI. Since we have got an AI camera on this one of the things that OPPO Find X did was, well, add some red to the flower. However, it's too oversaturated for me. Okay, so yeah, there we go. This one is really good. This one is really sharp, and as you can see here, there's a depth of field on this one. This one is just a normal auto mode, no portrait or anything. This one is really good. This one, however, I believe that this one needs more light on this one. It's too dark on this one, but again, I'm fine with it. This one is on low light, not perfect, but still good. Again, still flagship level. For a flagship smartphone, I wouldn't complain. It isn't the best one, but again, I wouldn't complain. Let's see. Okay, we got here another one here, and this one's a low light in Taipei. And as you can see here, I'm pretty satisfied with the low light quality of the OPPO Find X. This one is really good. As you can see, there's the details of the windows and everything. The colors are pretty good despite having a low light shot. So yeah, well, I think that's it for the photo of the smartphones, for the camera of the smartphone. So if you want to know more about the gaming capabilities, the capability of the 845 processor with that 8 gigs of RAM, well, you have to stick to our review, which will be posted at Jam Online soon. But don't worry, I mean everything can be run on this smartphone. This is the Find X. This is a flagship smartphone. You can't have any complaints when it comes to gaming on this one, because this is an 845 with 8 gigs of RAM. There's 256 gigs of internal storage. So yeah, I guess that's it for our unboxing and hands-on of the OPPO Find X. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, well, now's the time to subscribe. So once again, I am Jam, jamonline.ph, and thanks for watching our unboxing and hands-on of the OPPO Find X. Yes, I actually have two Find X here.